Uильямs in his fight against Mike Weaver. Now we go to the ring announcer, Michael Buffer, for pre-fight introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Atlantic City's Convention Hall by way of Donald Trump's Trump Plaza Hotel and Casino on the boardwalk here in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Tonight, Don King Productions and the Trump Plaza present the World Heavyweight Championship. This bout is approved and sanctioned by the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board, Larry Hazard Sr., Commissioner, Deputy Commissioner Lawrence Wallace, and the chairman is Jerry Gormley. The bout is governed by the rules and regulations of the World Boxing Association, represented by Dr. Elias Cordova and James J. Binns. It is also sanctioned by the International Boxing Federation, President Robert W. Lee, and the World Boxing Council, President Jose Suleiman. The three judges selected by the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board for this bout are Rocky Castellani, Chuck Giampa, and Richard F. Murray. Chief physician at ringside, Dr. Frank B. Doggett. Also in attendance, Dr. Eric Wormser and Dr. Charles Wilson. The timekeeper for the bout is Roosevelt Gilbert, and counting for the knockdown seconds, Steve Smoger. And now, before we get started, I would like to introduce the gentleman in the ring at this time, a man who's responsible for bringing over 20 championship bouts to Atlantic City over the last 2 years. In addition to being the world's most famous entrepreneur, he is a best-selling author and our host this evening, Mr. Donald Trump. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the Trump Plaza Hotel and Casino in Atlantic City, New Jersey, let's get ready to rumble! 12 rounds of boxing for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. The referee for this bout is Randy Newman. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the white trunks with red trim, he weighs an even 218 pounds from Absecon, New Jersey. His professional record, 22 victories against only 2 defeats, 17 knockouts to his credit, and 14 of those 17 KOs within 5 rounds or less. Ladies and gentlemen, the #1 heavyweight challenger in the world today, Karl, the Truth, Uильямs. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the solid black trunks and weighing in at 219 1/4 pounds from Catskill, New York. His professional record is unblemished with 36 consecutive victories, 32 knockouts, 28 KOs in 5 rounds or less, and 16 in the first round alone. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the undisputed, the undefeated heavyweight champion of the world, Iron Mike Tyson.
Number 2, obey my commands. I'll shake hands and come out of the belt.
Keep in mind that Mike Williams has a tendency to get hit by left hooks. Carl Williams, excuse me. I can think of better tendencies that a fighter should have who's going out to face Mike Tyson.
Indeed, Carl Williams has been floored 7 times in his career. Twice by James Quick Tillis, twice by Jesse Ferguson, 3 times by Mike Weaver, and in every instance, the decisive blow was a left hook. The people in Williams' corner are sincerely worried about what he does in the first 30 seconds against the Tyson onslaught. And it would appear that the strategy to begin with is to hold, and referee Randy Newman says, we're not going to start that way.
This is somewhat of a reunion here because both men are just throwing punches. In fact, Williams here has selected to fight Tyson inside. He claimed the other day that if Tyson throws any unnecessary punches, illegal punches, he will accommodate him and throw the same punches back.
Well, Frank Bruno felt the sting of Tyson's elbow several times, as other opponents have complained that they have felt it as well.
Because Williams' left jab is so strong, that should help him as long as he keeps that right hand up and watch Tyson's left hook, which is a powerful punch.
That's it. Let him go. All right, that's it. I'm here. Let him go. Get back.
1 second longer than Tyson Spinks. A minute 32 instead of a minute 31. It was, as you started to point out, again, Larry, a left hook.
Williams was very unhappy at the end of that. Randy Newman, the referee, asked him a question, obviously about how he felt or what his name was or where he was, and apparently he got the wrong answer because he stopped the fight immediately. I didn't see any reason to stop the fight, and I'm curious to see what that answer was, and I'm going into the ring to see if I can find out.
Good luck, Larry.
A minute 33, Larry. It was 2 seconds longer than the Spinks fight. The unofficial demarcation of the knockout comes at 1:33 of the first round, and you can see a disgusted Carl Uильямс who thinks that he should have been allowed to continue. And Ray, I've got to agree with Larry. It was a fairly peremptory stoppage.
Well, the way I judged it, because he appeared to be okay, but then again, the referee is closer to the pitcher than we are.
What was that question likely to be?
Well, where are you? What day is this? And here we see the left hook that put Uильямс down. Uильямs had dropped that right hand, and I had indicated earlier that the jab would be the key, but in throwing the left jab, he must also keep that right hand up and power. There's that left hook.
And you saw Mike pivot upward with both feet planted and turn the hips into the punch. This is where the power comes from.
The reason people fear Mike Tyson, because he's one of the few, if not the only man, that can knock you out in the heavyweight division with one punch.
Here's another look at the devastating left hook.
And what Tyson does here, he bobs and weaves, gets under that jab and counters with a beautiful left hook.
Perfectly timed as Uильямс was dropping the right hand, just as you said he did after throwing the jab.
Well, what happened for Uильямs is the fact that his left hand, his left jab rather, was working, and he felt very comfortable.
That was a look back at the conversation between Randy Newman and Carl Uильямs, which led to the stoppage.
Mike Tyson, as usual, awesome.
I'm reminded of a night in the Meadowlands in New Jersey when a referee stopped a bout between Mike Rossman and Victor Galindez. After a similar conversation, Rossman, the victim of the knockout, he chased the ref across the ring yelling, "What was the right answer?" And with
I'm with Randy Newman, the referee of the fight. Obviously, the people in and out of the ring are unhappy that the fight was stopped. Randy, why did you stop the fight?
When he got up at 8, he was wobbly. He wasn't standing up. He was leaning against the ropes. I asked him a question, a very simple question. How do you feel? Not for the answer, but to see how he responded. His eyes were blank. His expression was blank. He had no answer.
Is there any chance that he misunderstood what you wanted him to respond to?
I don't think so. Let me tell you why. He's had a lot of professional fights and a lot of amateur fights. When a fighter is knocked down, and I had 38 fights, when a fighter is knocked down, the first thing he wants to prove when he gets up to the referee is that he's in good shape. Number one, he wasn't standing on his feet. He was leaning on the ropes. Number two, he couldn't answer me. And number three, his eyes were dead.
Thank you very much, Randy. And now back to ringside.
All right, thanks very much, Larry, and thank you for pointing out that the crowd is booing, as there were obviously a fair number within this congregation who did not feel that the bout should have been stopped quite so quickly. Randy Newman with a